Yes, I can light the whole universe. I am different, I am purpose, I am brilliant. Yes, I feel it.
All right, beautiful people, gorgeous ones, how are you today? Today I am doing this is another day in my glam week, and I don't know, I'm kind of spacing it out a little more, so I don't know how this is working, but anyway, this is one of the looks from Glam Week. This is my this is what I'm calling New Year's Eve glam. We're calling this New Year's Eve glam, and this is a collab with my girl Ladessa, L to the D to the L to the D to the Ladessa from Blogless Behavior. Ladessa is one of the people who is in my beauty YouTuber growth group, however we call it. She's one of the ladies in there, and I contacted her to see if she would collab with me and do this one, because I really need to start collabing a little more. So if you are a YouTuber and would like to collab with me, let me know. I'm open to collabs. But anyway, anywho, yeah, I asked Ladessa to do this one with me specifically because it is glam, and Miss Ladessa is glam. Her style is impeccable. She takes some of the prettiest pictures with her look on. Her clothes are always, I'm jealous. I'm just being real. I'm jealous. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's fun to be with. She's one of the sweetest people that I have met recently. And I do know her personally because we live in the same city. We have hung out and everything. And I absolutely adore my Ladessa. So I thought this would be a great collab for us, because I know that she's going to come hard in the paint with the New Year's Eve look. Because New Year's Eve, you know, is total glam. It's total, you know, we putting this face on. We about to work it. We about to serve it. We about to beat it to the what? The gods. And there we go. And so I cannot wait, because I have not seen her look either. So by the time you see this, I'll be watching her video. And please make sure you go watch her video. It is linked in the cards and in the description. And check out the other ladies in my group. I do have their stuff, their links in the description box also. But, you know, if you would like to see how I did this right here, this New Year's Eve look, don't go anywhere. Okay, so let's get ready for a little New Year's Eve glam. Did I forget to do something before I started? Okay, well, anyway. First off, let me talk about a little prep before I get into the eyes. And then, you know, we'll go into voiceover mode for a little bit. Here's the first thing. When you're doing something like New Year's Eve, or something like really like where not only are you trying to impress you, and let's be real, we want to impress folks. When we want to impress the nation, we want the person we're with to be like, damn, did she do that? And you're going to be like, yep, I did. I did. So, you know, the thing is that your makeup has to last, but it's not like you're doing a full work day, you know? So there's a little different ways to approach it. But here's the first thing I want to say for prep for things like this I do is this is the e.l.f. Pore Refining Primer Mask. Now, the way you use this is you put it on, and, you know, after you dry your face, you leave on for 5 minutes and then remove. You rinse and you let dry before applying your makeup. So that's the way you use this particular mask. And then it does help to like refine your pores. And I'm not going to say this is like the only primer, but this is like the first step primer before you start doing everything else. Now, of course, I've primed my face, but I've done a couple of other things to my prep, which is, of course, I use my Smashbox Primer Oil underneath my eyes. And then I've used my Milani Prep and Brighten Rose Oil. And then the next thing I did was, I used this one in particular, but I have other ones. I used the Henriksen Nurture Me Facial Water. And this has cucumber and chamomile and vitamin B5 and everything. So I do all those things to like prep my face and make it very, you know, gorgeous before I, you know, you know, start this whole process. Now, the next thing is I'm about to start on my eyes, so I gotta prep my eyes because I forgot to do that. And whenever I do that, of course, right now I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape until it's gone, because yeah, I won't be buying this again. But it's a good, you know, base for my eyeshadow. So I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape, and for this one, because you know, it's New Year's Eve, and I'm about to be bougie. I'm gonna be semi-bougie, not totally bougie, but pretty bougie. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bougie. Can I go a little bougie on y'all? Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Natasha Denona, my what is this called? The Safari palette for the mattes. You know, this is the one I'm gonna be reaching for this, and then and then you'll see what else I'm gonna do, because this is gonna be a very festive look, as you know, because you've already seen the intro. So let's get started. Let me prep these eyes, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to start with Tamarind in my crease. Now, understand that I'm going to do quite a bit of blending because this is New Year's Eve. And so I'm taking, I actually took more time, and I blended and packed on more color because I do want it to be kind of impactful. That's like funny. But yeah, the Tamarind is very much a very good transition color for me, because it's almost, you see, it's almost the same as my complexion. So it just darkens up my lids just a little bit, because it's maybe like a shade or two darker than my actual complexion is. Next up, I'm using Thorn, and that's a mid brown, so I'm using that to start my crease work. I did notice with this, at first you notice it looks a little patchy, but as I blended it out, it came together. And also you can always tell with my left eye, the patchiness is always, it begins sort of like that because of that fold right there in my left corner. So that always you know, affects how the shadows go on, but as I work with them, they're just fine. So next up, I'm going to be using Shea in my outer V and really deepening the crease up, because I wanted to make sure that I had a really nice deep crease color. So even though I started with Thorn, I'm darkening it up so I have a more layered kind of effect, I guess, on the eye colors. Or maybe not, who knows? I might be fooling myself. But I really did pack this on and make sure that I had it on really, you know, well, and that it was wanted it to be pretty well blended. So now I'm using, just putting a little Tamarind on the top to blend out the top, to make sure, you know, the colors are blending and not just sitting on top of each other. And then I took Aya and just put a little, because that's a lighter color, on top of the Tamarind. Now I've actually cleaned up my lid with my concealer, and now I'm putting on the Stila Glitter and Glow in Jade, because I wanted it to start with Jade, because I want to have like a green color. Now when I do that, I always let my eyelids set because it takes a minute. So I set that, and now I'm putting the Kitten Caramel on top with my fingers, because I want it to be kind of like a greeny goldy effect. I don't know if I made it happen correctly, but that's what I was trying to do. I guess it's fine. All right, let's go on back to the rest of this. Okay, so I did a little work on these eyes. So let's get the face together. So for this, you know, we're going to go with, you know, we're going all out. And I think I want a more luminous face. So I'm going to use this VDL Satin Veil Primer. This is new to me, and I'm trying it out just to really get a feel for it. This is Korean one, and it's supposed to help give you that glass skin look. Ciao. Well, let's go for it. It's supposed to blur out the pores and, you know, do all that good stuff. And I found it on Beautylish. And this is like the new, you know, hot thing out. So we're going to see how it works. Now, if you need to do a mattifying primer, I would do something like a good matte one would be like, what do I have? Poreless, Tarte Poreless, beautiful one. Any of the Smashbox ones, great. You know, getting the mattifying ones, they will matte and blur, so that's a good one. But I just wanted to try this one out. This is supposed to kind of give you this luminous feel to you. So now there's a couple of foundations I'm thinking about using if it was a New Year's Eve, very special occasion. The two are, and they're two different, is my new love, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvets, or the Giorgio Armani, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Two different types of things. This, of course, is a matte, but this is a very satiny matte. It's not a super dry matte. And then the Luminous Silk, you know, gives you that finish that you're looking for, because you kind of want to have this like glowy vibe, you know, when you're going out, especially for New Year's Eve, with somebody who's really important, you know, who's like special to you, and you're giving like full look. When you're giving full look, I don't know how this eye is looking to me, but we're gonna run with it now. Because I put it on now. So, because I didn't want that green because the green was too intense. But I wanted the green and the goldy vibe. So, I probably should have done something. Because I'm getting fallout, but that's okay. And it's my fault. But we'll talk about that in a second. So, anyway, in reference to the foundation, I think I'm going to go with the Luminous Silk and just matte it down just a little bit. Because, for a night like this, where you're going to be out and you want to try to look, you know, you're looking just your gorgeous self, you know, your gorgeousness is just flowing through. I'm thinking that I want to, you know, have a more, not necessarily dewy, because the Luminous Silk is not super dewy, but it is luminous. So there's a difference. So I say, like, if you have combination skin, what I would do if you're going to use something like this, which I need to talk about in my review, is just make sure that you know, use a nice powder, you know, because you will still get some dewiness. It will not be as luminous as, you know, on other people, but it will be pretty on you. So it will not, you know, if you use your mattifying primers and things and set it with a good powder, it's going to be, you know, very, it's going to give you that glowy kind of skin. Give you a little glow so you don't look, you know, dry. And that's the thing I'm thinking. You want to kind of have this full glow effect going on. Now, when I get ready for something like this, and I don't know if everybody does this, you know, I always wear something with a loose neckline, because of course you're not going to wear what you're going to wear out while you're putting on your makeup. This is like about getting it all perfectly together, you know, making sure it's like on point, things like that. So want to get it right here. Buff it into those edges, around the edges of your skin. And see, it's because I haven't even used like a mattifying primer, but you see that the luminous skin now, and it's a medium coverage for me. It's not super full coverage, but you see that it's, you know, it's not super, because like I heard the Power fabric was super drying. So this isn't super dry, but it does leave you with a slight sheen to your skin, so that gives you that kind of naturally glowy kind of vibe. So let me get the rest of the stuff, because I don't think I have my Charlotte with me. Okay, so next up, so like I said, the luminous silk gives you a nice satiny finish. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a satin finish, not a matte. not a super dewy. It's a very satiny look. Looks very, you know, luminous, silky. That's all I got for it. Okay, so the next thing is I'm gonna do a little concealer under these eyes with my Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. I really do like it. No lies here, I do like it. I do think it works best with a sponge, so I'm gonna use a sponge with it. I need to clean my sponges. I always want to push it into my little issues underneath my eye. So let's pull it out and just give it a good zhuzh. I'm going to be real quick about that. And now I'm going to set it with my, and I do each eye separately, with my HD finishing powder, my NYX HD finishing powder. I find that I really am enjoying this underneath my eyes. It's this banana powder, because it's not too banana, but it's just enough to give me a good look. Don't you hate when you just don't get enough out? Okay. 3 little dots. Because, you know, when we are older, we cannot be doing that, like, super duper concealered up look. Because that's just adding on layers to sink into things we don't want them sunk into. And, yeah. That works when you're young. And for me, I think my face has enough kind of dimension on its own. Like, you notice that I don't contour my nose. I'm not a contour in general, but I tried to contour my nose, but I do have that already going on. So it looked a mess on me. It looked a mess on me. No. No. So I'm going to give this a little. And just enough to set, but not too much, because when as an older woman putting on makeup, you gotta be a little mindful of how much powders you're putting on, because there's a balance that we have to hit, because we don't want to make ourselves too powdery, too cakey, things like that. So you have to be a little more what is the word I'm looking for? We have to be a tad bit more light-handed. That's what I want to say. We have to be a little light-handed. So I'm about to use my Charlotte Tilbury to my airbrush flawless finish, because this is the truth. It does give you a airbrush flawless finish. Ciao. 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 That's all I got to say. Okay, so now I'm going to set all this in. Just press it in a little bit with the damp sponge. Just give it a damp. Now, a lot of people use setting spray at this point. I'm not going to do that. I like to just do it with this, because it takes off any excess when I've gotten a little too heavy-handed. And then it also just helps to, you know, press the powders in a little bit, just with a little liquid to press it in a little more. So now, really, that's what we're doing. Okay, so now next up, y'all know that I have been loving my Jouer, so I'm gonna go on to use my Jouer. This is my medium to deep. It's a really nice bronzer on me. See, it builds up really nice on me. Now, let's talk a little bit about New Year's Eve. I've just been sitting here. I ain't even been talking to y'all. I've been talking about products. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about New Year's Eve. Let me give y'all a little, I think I should do this like a lot when I do these little things. Maybe I'll make these into like story times too. Do y'all like that? A little story times. So let me tell y'all about, you know, now first off, I'm not a huge New Year's Eve, like going to events. You know, that's for the young. That's for the young. Once you get to a certain age, you've done them a couple of times, you're like, you know what? I don't ever have to do these again. And so I used to do, you know, I when I was younger with their father, my kid's father, I used to go with him because that was work for him. You know, he works for the record company. So we had, you know, he had to go to events because they would have people performing, things like that. So I wound up going with him a lot. And then after we parted ways, isn't that such a cute little genteel way to say it? Once we parted ways, what blush should we use? Now, I'm looking at myself with this look and with the gold and everything and this brownie look, warm tone look. So we're going to go with a peach because we know we love the peaches. We love the peaches, and we have more than enough to go along with. So let's go with a little Peachy Love by Anastasia ABH, because you know we going glam. Not only, you know, and like I've always said, glam is not about money, but we're gonna go with Peachy Love, and I think I'm gonna go with this one in the middle. And this one is Ginger. Yeah. So after him, I personally prefer like a house party kind of vibe. I would love somebody to give like a really good, pretty house party for New Year's Eve where, you know, it's like dress up and everything. I need new friends. I need new people to hang out with because that's what I need to be doing. I need to be at some like gorgeous like home events. You know, somebody's gorgeous, you know, home with that. Yeah, that's what I need to be doing for my, that's what I need to be doing. How about y'all? But anyway, I digressed. So a couple years, I used to work a party. And what I was I was the, what did I used to sell? I used to be the, let me get it out. Let me get it out. Let me get it out. Hold on for a second. Okay, so we're going to be going with Blissful by Ofra because I was thinking peachy gold highlighter. And I was like, girl, are you tripping Blissful? Which I'm going to be decluttering, but not because of the reasons why you think. So anyway, yeah, so I used to work this, come through Ofra. Come through. Do y'all see that right there? Ofra don't play. So anyway, and I'm so glad I always get mine on half price. Yeah, so anyway, I used to be working this New Year's Eve party for some extra money. Because at the time, my kids were young. I wasn't dating anybody in particular. And so, you know, it was a good way to make like $100, $150 for the night. And I was always I wound up being the fur coat raffle girl. So the first year I did it, this guy had nothing really taken care of. They had me at a table with a fur coat, a full-length mink in like this hotel. It was just a table, and I had the money I'm taking for these raffles, I'm throwing it in a box. Literally, they gave me a cardboard box, and I'm throwing it in this box. So, you know, so they can take, and then they would come and take some of the money out. That's how this worked. And then they gave me a police officer because he was an off-duty police officer. He was a police officer. So he had his, you know, they had security, and the security were off-duty police officers. So I had a police officer who sat with me all night as we collected this money. No lies. This is how this went. It was the most unorganized. And because he wanted to make the most money off of this, I was on the floor selling until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because the deal was, you know, and it was a good deal because people would buy them early, but you had to be present because it wasn't like you put your names on it, just had the numbers on it. So people were buying like a lot of them and would be stuck. You know, they didn't bought $20 worth, but they tired because he would make it till the almost very end, to the point that as we were walking into the party, you know, with all the stuff, he would still have me selling raffle tickets. So I'm standing there, you know, taking money and selling raffle tickets on the floor at the same time. Okay. So here we go. We're doing good. Oh, let me do the, I'm going to do my under eye right quick. Hold on. Okay, we're just going to use Shea, the darkest brown underneath the eyes, just to, you know, make sure we got that together. Because we do need to smoke them out a little bit. I told y'all I'm loving this particular these Dose of Colors little baby ones. Because these are nice. I love this thing. I love these. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so the guy was giving this. Now, the guy who gave the party was always hitting on me. Now, this is before I did the party, and then found out he had a woman. Because I met her, because she was part of the people, you know, there. And then I found out this is his woman, and I'm like, dude, come on. I was in my 20s. He thought I was like this big dummy. He was like 14 years older than me. And I remember because he was coming on to me for years. And I was like, cool, I'll work for you this party because I needed the extra money. I got kids at home. I got babies. And golds right here. So we need to put a little gold right here. So we're going to put a little gold in here. And I'm going to use the Warrior palette only because it's sitting right here. And it's got a little gold in it. And I don't feel like looking for anything else. So for my inner corner, I'm going to use this Amina. It's a little broken up, but so, yeah. So, I mean, so like he's like hitting on me during the party, mind you. He's trying to hit on me. But my cop, the one who was with me, hooked me up because I didn't know that this was his woman, of course, because, hey, I don't know him like that. But he was like, I was like, dude, you gotta, no, we're not doing this. And so after the party, he did try to hit on me later on. But I did work his parties for a few years because I put him in his place. And I was like, dude, no. I was like, first off, you have a woman in your life. Married or not, you live with her. And I've met your woman. Hell no. I mean, if I was like that, if I was that chick, which I'm not because I don't mess around with men who are in relationships, just in general. Oh my God, this Oprah is killing and but it's banging. It's banging. But anyway, so before I get off camera, do my eyebrows and put my lashes on and stuff. We come back and do lipsticks. Dude. And he was like he was really stymied because I was not going for it. It was ridiculous, but I did work his parties for quite some time. Then the next year he moved it and he had like at this other venue in another hotel, and I actually had like it was like these little rooms. It was in the ballroom area, but they had these, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like little rooms off to the side where it was in the kind of like the lobby area where, and they had like, he had people giving out the, you know, hats and the stuff like that. So they had that. And then I had my little area, right? This time, because I was behind a table, people couldn't get to me really. They didn't even give me anybody. Now, luckily, I am a very, you know, honest chick, because I was left with thousands of dollars by myself. And they would come and empty the box. But literally, I was sitting there by myself with thousands of dollars. So I could have been like, I mean, I could have honestly, if I had, you know, if I was that person, but of course you don't know you're going to be in that situation. But I'm sure somebody who thinks like this would have figured it out, because it was like I had thousands and thousands, because he made big money on those. He used to make that was one of the biggest things he made money on that night. We sold thousands of tickets because he was selling for $1. So he was, people were buying like $20 worth of tickets, $15 worth of tickets, you know, so I'm selling all these tickets. Thousands of dollars I had around me, just in big, they gave me 2 big boxes, and I was dumping the money into the boxes again. And then they would come and, you know, take the money out of there. And the wife, Now she cool with me because she figured out, because I think she thought he was trying to get with me, and then I guess, you know, after she did some due diligence, she found out wasn't nothing happening. She was cool with me. So yeah, they left me with all their money. I mean, thousands. It's a good thing I'm a nice person like that. Okay, so let me get off camera for a little bit. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I'm going to do my and put some lashes on, and we will talk about my lipstick, because y'all know what color's coming. Y'all saw it. So here's the finished look. I went with a little more dramatic lash, which is one of my Eylures. I think it's an Only Vlogger one, but they no longer make it. I just was able to get it when they were discounting them. But this is, of course, this red is my Juvia's Place Lulu. Cause you know, if I'm gonna wear my red, and Lord knows I have a lot, and I think I'm gonna be doing a red swatch video. Would you all like to see that? Let me know. But anyway, I'm using Lulu by Juvia's Place. Why? Because it's Lulu and I'm Lulu. So, and look at this red, y'all. Look at this red. So let's look at the look. It came out kind of nice. Since I decided to do this on the fly, I kind of like this greeny goldy vibe that I created with the Stila, you know, liquid eyeshadows, using the jade and the kitten caramel on top. I kind of like it. It's kind of cute. All right. Now, of course, if I was going out for, you know, really going out for New Year's Eve, my hair would be a little more done. I would not necessarily straighten it, because I'm not a big straightener of my hair, but I would definitely set it on flexi rod, so it would be big and curly. But this is definitely a very good New Year's Eve, you know, after 5 big event look. You can't go wrong with a little red lip, right? And a little sparkle on the eyes. So if you like this video, if you like this look, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment or two. What is your go-to, like, special occasion look? What lipsticks do you wear? Do you have like one look, or do you change it up depending on what you're doing? All right, it's your Lulu. May you be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Bye-bye.